Daisy, hello everyone. Daisy, I haven't spoken to you in too long.
I know.
Yeah,
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been a crazy few months. I can't believe it's almost Christmas as well. This is crazy.
I know, that makes me sick. And we've had a bit of time off our podcast, clearly. We sort of, things just became a bit hard to schedule. So it's good to be back having a chat with you. And there's so much to talk about. I have been dying to have this conversation with you and find out all the goss of your experience at Bravocon. First of all, I want to talk about your looks though, because I loved them all. You absolutely nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't seen them, check out Daisy's Instagram page because you've got them all.
No, it's quite different to my look now. So makeup does wonders.
Hey, you pull off both. So you got the Parlay Revival hoodie. That's all you need.
I do. I know everyone's obsessed every time I wear this, and I'm like, it's my only hoodie. So I do wear it a lot, and it's freezing in the UK at the moment. So yeah, I went to bed with this on. I'm still in my pajamas. I've really bad. I think I've bad jet lag still. From back from the States. So yeah, it's like 10 a.m. here, and I'm still not showered, but I will be showering after.
Good to know. Glad you're keeping up with your hygiene. You had a little trip to Mexico that looked really nice. You've absolutely
the whole thing
been jet setting lately.
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely full on. Then I go to Ireland as well on Friday. It's just nonstop, hence why. And getting to schedule this is really difficult. But yeah, it's great. I mean, post COVID, like we can travel again. So making the most of it. But yeah, no, it was amazing. The whole thing was so cool. I was meant to go to Bravocon last year and obviously got cancelled because of COVID. So to be able to go this year was absolutely amazing. And yeah, the looks, it was stressful. Like it honestly takes like, it was like 6 weeks of preparation before I went. And
wow.
Because it's just this, like the stupid stuff, like, like obviously getting the outfits, and I had several outfits, to choose from because you don't know how you're going to feel on the day. And I find it really hard to envision the future. So like I overpack, and people are like, oh, you overpack. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't know what I want to wear. I don't know what I want to wear on the day. I don't know what the weather is going to be like. I don't know how I'm feeling. So I was like constantly like trying to think of looks, and it's not just the outfit, it's the bags, the shoes, the accessories. Then you need to book your makeup artist and your hair in advance to make sure you get who you want. Then, if your Botox and your Profilo, you book that in advance, and obviously you want to time it right. You have to time your nails right. If you want to get teeth whitening, if you want to get tan, like it just doesn't stop. Facials. Not that I'm sure I look.
Wedding. It's your wedding day, Bravocon.
I know. Not that. I mean, let's be honest. There's way more people watching me than your wedding day, so you gotta get.
That's true.
It's great. And I probably wouldn't look any different if I didn't do all this stuff. It's mainly the outfit and the makeup. But yeah, women kind of obviously have their things that they make them feel good. Your eyebrows, your eyelashes, whatever. So yeah, there was a lot like leading up to it. And I think of myself quite low maintenance. So I couldn't even imagine if you were high maintenance. But yeah.
Some of the housewives, can you even imagine?
I know, totally. So there was that, and yeah, I kind of bought several outfits, and luckily I overthink about a lot of stuff, but I don't overthink about that sort of stuff. So I'm very much like, oh, it will come together. Like I'll just have an outfit in the day, a load of. So even the night before, my friend was like, what are you going to wear tomorrow? And I was like, I haven't decided.
Yeah.
So my makeup and my hair kind of turned up, and they're like, what are you thinking? And I was like, I don't know, this is what I'm wearing, which is, I think in some ways a blessing because I'm so relaxed about it, but in another way I'm really annoying because I have no direction for them.
Yeah.
So that was yeah, but it all, you know, you kind of have faith, and, you know, 3 hours later it comes together, and yeah,
Did you
all of
have
a
a favorite
sudden,
look?
ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I loved them all. I think I'm like going through the photos now. I really, really love them all. I think my favorite, possibly the green day two, this one
Oh yeah,
with the
yeah.
retrofetti, and she kind of did this like 50s glamour hair, which I wasn't surprised. I didn't know. I just like do it, and then I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my god, I wouldn't even have thought about this. So I don't know. I love them all. This one was very cool, like
That
with
was
the bobble
glam. That was
hair, and
special.
yeah.
I
So
loved your
yeah,
I love the first outfit, the pink one with the feathers.
yeah, the pink one was very
It
cool.
really
That
popped on.
one.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, they all like, it's hard to choose because they're all so different, and they all kind of came together in their own way. And some of those outfits, a girl had come to my hotel room, so I didn't actually pick them until the night before.
Oh
And
wow.
some of those outfits, so yeah, they all kind of came together, and yeah, just such different looks. And obviously, it's so fun getting to dress up, like especially coming from our show where our green screens are in our uniform. We wear our uniform the whole time. We haven't done a Watch What Happens live. We haven't done a reunion in live. So yeah, it was really fun for me to, yeah, be able to dress up and show kind of a different side to me, and be like, yeah, I don't just work in my uniform. Like, I am a woman and I do like to dress up.
Yeah, no, it would have been pretty fun. Do you have like so did you get assigned like a stylist, or how do you find your own?
So that you like, you're in charge of all of your own looks. You find your
Right,
own
okay.
stylist, your own, yeah, makeup artist, hair artist. So that's all on you, and to organize it, everything like that. So I had an Irish woman who I'd used for upfronts, and that's based in New York, Marie Clark. She did my hair every day, and she's just fab. Like, she's just such a perfectionist, and um, yeah, she's just amazing. So she did a great job the whole time. And then the makeup, that got a bit messy because I had someone, they cancelled last minute. So I got another girl called Maya Renee, who did my first two looks, which was amazing. And then the last day, I actually got accosted by, I wasn't going to get my makeup done the last day because I was only meant to go in for 15 minutes. And then I was like, this makes no sense. Like, I woke up that morning being like, I wish I did get my makeup in, because I ended up going in for a few hours,
Mm.
and I was so tired, so hungover. And I was like, my outfit's not going to look good now, and all this. So I was actually saying this at breakfast, and the next thing I'm walking by the hotel, and this lady runs up to me and she's like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan. And she's like, can I do your makeup? And
Oh,
I
that's
was like,
good.
she was literally just saying, now she was actually a real makeup artist. So she did my makeup. So I was so glad I did then get it professionally done. And she was so lovely. So yeah, they were kind of my hair and makeup people. And then the lady who came with the dresses, which were all of my dresses except the green retrofetti one. And she has her own boutique called Laura's Boutique in New York. So her dresses were amazing. So yeah, there's like a whole team of people behind what I look like. It does take like literally 2 to 3 hours to dress me.
Yeah, it would be so
Um,
fun.
oh my God, yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, it was amazing, and the girls did an amazing job, and yeah, they made me look the part. So I was delighted with all the looks, and yeah, it was, yeah, they were kind of my team. But yeah, it's up to me. And that's quite stressful to, you have to book them
Yeah,
far
to
enough in
organize
advance,
all
make sure
that.
you have them.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I would
no, okay.
overthink that so much. I'm very indecisive when it comes to things about like outfits I'm going to wear or hair and makeup, like things that are going to make me look a certain way and I feel under pressure to look really good. I get super indecisive. So that would have been a nightmare for me having to work that out.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. It was quite a lot of pressure, and especially because I hadn't done it before. So,
Mm.
I don't want to go overdressed, underdressed, and some days you kind of miss the mark. And everyone's different. So some days, some people are really overdressed. Some days, other people are just wearing like, really quite casual. Feel like I kind of went middle of the ground, maybe leaning towards more dressed. But it was hard to, it's hard to kind of suss it out. But I guess the most important thing is that if you feel good and you're happy with what you're wearing, then that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Did you have anyone that you spotted that you thought was one of the best dressed that you saw for the whole few days? Is there anyone that stood out?
Hard question. One girl that really stood out, and I'll have to try and find her. I think she's from the Housewives of Dubai.
Is she blonde? Short blonde hair?
Yeah, she's like a model.
Caroline? Maybe?
Possibly. No. I think she's from Dubai.
Okay. Oh, I don't know any others. I haven't actually watched that season. I started watching it, but it didn't captivate me.
I heard that from a few people. I don't know how I find this girl now. Let me go on to Bravo page. Yeah, she was really over the top like every day, but her outfits were spectacular. Like they looked absolutely amazing. I really want to find her now. It's going to really bother me. But yeah, she was like proper ball gowns and stuff like that.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that type of that show is all about the glam, like Housewives franchise, so much about the glam. Some franchises more than the other, like Beverly Hills, they go really over the top, and I can imagine Dubai.
Oh, really? Yeah, because you're the expert, so I don't.
Bravo fiend, it's really pathetic, and it's my deep, dark, dirty secret.
You would have absolutely wet your pants. Yeah, coming to Bravocon, like you would.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm like, because I watch Summer House and Vanderpump Rules, and whenever I watch it, I'm like, I would love to party with them. I know that you've partied with Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz before.
No, I've actually never met Tom Schwartz, so I've partied with Tom Sandoval. I met him again this year. I didn't really get to party with them. I was saying they like asked for feedback. I was like, it's actually a bit of a shame. I think that they should do like kind of a meet and greet with like similar shows to mine, like Summer House and Vanderpump Rules and stuff like that. Southern Charm, because it was like I got put in panels with these people, and because I don't watch the shows, I don't know who they are. It's hard to network because you're like you have somewhere to be the whole time. So it was kind of a shame. Right. And I got kind of friendly with Lindsay from Summer House because we ended up being together in the same panels, and we keep like passing each other in the hallways and all this. So we kind of exchanged numbers, and we met up for drinks while I was in New York. She's so cool. She's lovely. I really like her. And yeah, she was super friendly. And I was saying to her, because the night before Bravocon, the Winter House premiere party was on. And, because I was like, it's such a shame because we're such fleeting moments, but we're the same cast. And because we don't cross over the way they do, like they cross them over and watch What Happens Live. They cross over their shows. We don't really get to meet them. So they all get to kind of meet each other and network and bond. And Below Deck kind of just turn up at Bravo, kind of being like, because all the housewives, everyone cross over because they're all American shows. So one way or another, they're going to meet each other somehow. But Below Deck don't get to do that. So it was a bit of a shame. But, now I've kind of met a few people and, it'll be a bit better because obviously it's nice to get to know people in different shows. So, yeah.
There was a rumor. There's a little rumor that sort of came out on Watch What Happens Live. Kyle Cook from Summer House was talking to Andy, and they were talking about Lindsay. See, I didn't watch the whole episode of Watch What Happens Live. I just saw the clip on a Bravo page that came up on my Instagram. And basically, like, to fast forward to the point, it was insinuated that Lindsay had at Bravocon, Lindsay had an issue with some of Bravo production, and they're like not really impressed with
Well,
her.
I think it started because Amanda had said the week previous that Lindsay was rude to her fans. And then I didn't watch the episode, and then it transpired, but it was actually Andy who insinuated that it was Lindsay, and Amanda didn't like deny it. Then Kyle was like on Watch What Happens Live, was like, it wasn't it you who insinuated it because she was rude to Bravo production. And I didn't see the episodes, I only saw clips of it. I don't know what happened. Lindsay was anything but sweet to me. I don't know. I spoke to Kyle because we were on a panel very briefly. I never spoke to Amanda. So I don't know them, but Lindsay was nothing but nice to me. So I don't know, is the answer. Possibly she was rude. I'm sure it happens. Like, they're really long days. I'm sure at times I can be short and snap, and yeah, I mean, it's incredibly tiring and to be on at all those times, but I have absolutely no idea. And like I said, Lindsay's been nothing but very nice to me. So
yeah, I think sometimes people surprise you. Like, I mean, we have had, and I know that you had experiences in the season 3 of Below Deck and our season, people who were rude to production, and it was quite like shocking when you sort of hear, or when you witness it or hear about it, you're like, what? Like, it's just, but yeah, you just never know who's going to be that person that is going to take their breath
sure.
out.
1000%. Like, I like to think I would never be rude, and yeah, when you do witness it, it's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, I cannot imagine you
I'm sure
being
there's been
rude, like,
times
you appreciate how hard that production are working as well. So I just cannot imagine you ever getting in such a bad mood that you would be like that.
I would like to think I wouldn't. I would like to think that I would be quite, I'd like to think that my manners are kind of always at the forefront of my mind. But I also do understand how sometimes you can, be a bit snappy when you are so tired or hungover. But I find it hard to picture Lindsay being rude. But like I said, I wasn't there. I have no idea. But all that drama just makes me so awkward. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I think show together again. Like, oh God, I couldn't.
There was actually another question that I wondered if you might have gotten a whisper about.
Oh wait, I think I found the housewife. Chanel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was her, the one who was like, sorry.
Show me a photo. Show me the picture. Do you have a picture of it?
This girl.
Oh, okay. She looks very glamorous.
I'll find it out. I'll find
Everyone who doesn't have video footage right now can probably just Google
Chanel. I am.
Okay. She does look very glam. I mean, yeah, Dubai, she's representing like the most over-the-top country in the world.
Yeah, I think she could be, I think she might be like I'll show you. Yeah, this is the sort of stuff she was wearing.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So it was pretty over the top. It was very but she definitely probably stood out the most in Bravocon. I mean, I don't really care. I love over the top, so I'm all for it.
Oh my God. She looks like she's at like the
Mecca.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Met Gala.
Yeah, so it was pretty pretty full on, but good on her.
It would have been fun to get dressed up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was gonna ask, so on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I know that's a season that you do watch, but did you watch the last season? The most recent?
No, so I'm all about the OG. I haven't watched any of the new.
Well, there was a massive
Oh, I heard. I got So I got filled in. So I brought a friend who I actually invited last year. And because I invited her last year, she started watching loads of the Bravo shows. So Elaine, she was absolutely perfect to bring. She would have been like you would have been perfect to bring, because she's filled me in on all the teaks. I'd be like, Elaine, who's that? And I'd be like, or like people recognized me.
That's what you need. Yeah.
That was so uncomfortable, because they'd be like, oh my God, Daisy. And I'm like, I'm like, Elaine, I have no fucking clue who this person is.
That would be
fill
awesome.
me in. Yeah, so she gave me all the tea, because especially when we watch What Happens Live, I didn't get when they do the beef game or whatever. But she did fill me in on the Lisa Rinna and
Kathy
Hilton drama.
Yeah.
So I know that was a big talk. So I am filled in. I'm
Yes, big drama, big drama. Anyone who doesn't know, I mean, have a little Google, because it's like been everywhere in the Bravosphere. But so anyway, there was like a bit of a fallout in the reunion, where Kathy Hilton and Kyle, sisters, they kind of left things not really mended, and Kyle was just convinced that their relationship was destroyed. And then they put up a little like text saying the next time that Kyle and Kathy saw each other was at Bravocon. So I want to know, did you hear any whisper of any drama going on with Kathy Hilton?
I didn't.
Did you see her?
It's all such a blur. I don't think I did. I mean, we would have been in the same room, because we obviously did Watch It Happens Live together. So I would have seen her up on stage. But I remember being that close to her. I can't, honestly, it's such a blur. And when you see people on TV, it's hard to remember if you've seen them in real life.
Yeah,
but we would have been in the same room for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if.
And I obviously met her before, because she was on my boat. I hope to tell that story.
Oh, what's she like? Is she cool? She's so funny on the show.
Yeah, she's a bit mad. So I met her, she came on as a guest on my boat. God, probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
Anyway, moving on from that.
Very entertaining, that's for sure.
Oh God. So you were hanging out with Courtney and Z, were they, and Aisha? They were the main ones that you were below deck co-stars that you were.
And Fraser was there. Fraser's so nice.
Oh my God, I've spoken to him. I really, really like Fraser.
Yeah, me too. I really, really like to be really normal and down to earth. And yeah, it was very cool meeting him. I got to meet Courtney and Z. I'd met Courtney in LA before, but very cool to see her again and Z. And I didn't get to spend a huge amount of time with them, because again, like me and Gary were on all the similar panels, so we kind of got to see each other at fleeting moments. But yeah, very cool to meet them and hang out with them. And Aisha, she's super lovely. And Captain Jason, Sandy, all these people were great. I got to meet Kate Chastain, who's so nice. Absolutely loved meeting her. So yeah, everybody was very, very cool. But the person I did spend the most time with was Gary, just because of the way our panels worked. So it's a busy, long day. So it's not a huge amount of time to spend with these people. You know, it's kind of more intermittent moments. But yeah, loved meeting them all. Very cool.
Anyone who kind of surprised you with, like, you know, if they come across a certain way on TV and then they came across differently in real life?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody was really lovely. No, nothing really kind of stands out, kind of what I expected. You know, and Bravocon, they pick, you know, obviously we're like all kind of fan favorites and all kind of safe people. You want, you know, people are there to see their favorites. They're not there to see people who like gave them anxiety and like, you know, who they hated. So yeah, obviously everyone who was there was, you know, really lovely. So
Yeah, that's good. That's much more enjoyable for you.
Yeah, I didn't have to
And then you guys went out with Z and Courtney one of the nights, didn't you? Tell me what went down.
we went for dinner, and honestly, we left straight after dinner because dinner wrapped up at like 12, maybe a bit later, like 12:30. And we went home, and I was in bed by 2 because we were up for glam at 7 a.m. So we actually, even though every night I drank till about 2 a.m., nothing crazy happened because it was all again like working. We'd be at Watch What Happens Live till 11 or 12. And then you go for a drink, and then by the time you finish like 2 or 3 drinks, it's 2:30 or 1:30. And I was very conscious of having to be up at 7 a.m. every morning. And the days are crazy long. So I started at 7 a.m. and I didn't get to bed till 2 a.m. So it wasn't like crazy, crazy partying like usual. It was very just like a drink and chatting to people. So nothing crazy happened.
Well, that's
No TV built,
that's
unfortunately.
disappointing.
I know. I'm sorry. It's
I
very
did
boring.
actually do a post on my Instagram asking if people had some questions for you. Just bear with me while I find them. Actually, while I'm looking for those questions, tell me about how Gary was, because we both know Gary well enough, and like I can imagine he would have been absolutely loving the attention.
He did. He was enjoying it for sure. A couple of times, and he was quite drunk. I think he got told to stop drinking. He was actually
You got
fine, but you
told
could
to
just
stop drinking.
drunk. I think so. But no, he was in great form. We kind of kept falling out with each other. I think I was a bit rude to him because he would like we would have a schedule. So there would be like people queuing up to, because they knew we were going to be at a certain place at a certain time to take photos. So people had been like queuing for like an hour. So I'd be like, we have to go to this place. And he would like talk to all the fans, which was amazing. It's obviously really sweet, but I was like, we have somewhere else to be. Like, there's been someone's put this schedule together, put a lot of thought into it, and there are people waiting to queue up who've been queuing for an hour. And he'd be like, we're here for the fans, and like screaming at me. And then I would get really rude. So a few times we kind of had a few arguments, but again, I think we were just really tired, and there was a lot of alcohol, and very little sleep. So I think we were just snapping at each other. But yes, he was very much enjoying the attention, and was living his best life.
Was he trying to pick anyone up? Was he trying to hit on anyone?
I think he was trying to pick up everyone, to be honest. So again, I didn't spend too much time with him, even though we were together all the time because we were going from panel together. He was all talking to other people, so we didn't actually speak a huge amount ourselves. But no, he was in good form.
That's funny. Well, someone actually asked, how big of a flirt was Gary with the fans and other crew? There you go. Did he flirt with any fans?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was flirting with fans. I'm pretty sure he definitely was. He was definitely hitting on a few of the housewives. Gary can't speak to someone without like hitting on them. Like it's almost how he converses. So yeah, he was definitely hitting on some people and flirting with pretty much anyone. So yeah, that was all happening.
Well, that question was from Michelle Jones, and I've got another one. I'm not sure if you would have the goss on this, but I don't know if you know who Ashley Darby is from Housewives of Potomac.
No.
You don't watch that one. There's rumors that Ashley and Luke from Summer House.
I saw this on. So I've met Luke. What show is he from?
He's from Summer House and Winter House.
Okay, so Luke, my hairdresser had actually does Luke's hair as well. So I know a bit about him through her. You know, she had mentioned him or whatever, and you know, said only really lovely things. So I'd actually met him. We did a panel together with Kate Chastain, and we spoke very briefly. But he was super lovely. But that was the only time we spoke. Was literally for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I am afraid, but I did see an Instagram about the rumors that they were all at a game on Sunday with Lindsay and Carl. So unfortunately, I do not have any tea. I do not know if they're together, and I did not meet Ashley. So I can't.
We need more time with each person so that you can get the gossip to come back to us.
I know. Look, I started the footwork, so I've met a few people. So, you know, if I'm invited back to Bravocon next year, I've done, you know, a little bit of footwork, and I'll be up in level. I'll be
the not so undercover reporter.
Yeah, exactly.
So Langan 123 asked, Daisy, who was the one person you couldn't wait to meet, and did they live up to your expectations?
So obviously I only watched the OG of the Housewives. So I was most excited to meet them. I didn't, because you don't want to go up to people, like, you know, it's a lot going on. But I got to see from afar Taylor and Carl Richards and you know, obviously Kathy Hilton stuff, but they're kind of the big dogs. So I didn't go up to them, so I didn't get to meet them, but I was very excited to see them. But I did meet Brandy Glanville, who is a fan of our show. So she knew who I was, and she's so nice. Like, she really, really is super lovely and friendly, and was very welcoming to me. So I really enjoyed getting to meet her. And then I guess the other person I really was looking forward to meeting, because we've spoken several times, was Kate Chastain. And obviously she's one of the OG from our series. So that was very cool, and getting to meet her in person was just lovely. And yeah, I loved meeting her. And I mean, if anything, these people are way nicer than you know, you kind of see, which is always the case. It's just like the villains in our season, but I'm like, they're fine. Everyone's like, I need to be friends with this person, and I'm like, really not that bad. Like, everyone has their bad moments. And yeah, so I think Kate and Brandy were particularly kind of really, really, I think the people I spoke to most celebrity wise is probably Lindsay from Summer House, Brandy Glanville, and Kate. And they were all just so, for me, the experience was so overwhelming and daunting. And you kind of almost feel like a bit of a fraud. Like, I didn't feel like I belonged there again. I've never done a Watch What Happens Live. I've never done any of this stuff. So for me, it was a big kind of steep learning curve. So yeah, to have kind of some of these ladies be very welcoming was very nice.
Yeah, that's nice. We need to do a podcast crossover with Brandy one day. I saw that she had Kate on her podcast recently. So
yeah, 100%. That would be very,
that would be
very
fun. She's funny. I really liked. She was like my favorite when she was on the Beverly Hills Housewife. I loved watching her.
Yeah, and obviously now I did watch an episode from the oh my god, oh bloody hell, the Housewives Getaway, or
the Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yeah. So I watched an episode with her, but no, she's great. And you know, like I mean, Brandy's great TV. Like, there's no denying that. But like, bless her, I think, you know, the only time she was ever really crazy was when she felt backed into a corner, and you know, that's kind of when she let herself spiral. But I always thought, you know,
at least I had smelled meth in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic. Someone asked, Melanie McKenzie asked, is Captain Jason as hot and nice in person?
He's very handsome. There's no denying it. You know, he's got that typical kind of rugged, like beard, like dark hair. You know, he's big in stature. So yes, he is very handsome, and yes, he's very, very lovely, very friendly. Yeah, I mean, these moments are very short that I get to meet these people. You know, we did go for a few drinks after the show ended. So it's hard to like, I couldn't picture somebody in a bar over a cocktail being particularly rude or mean. So these are very easy questions to answer. Yes, he was very lovely. So my experience with Jason was, yes, he's just as handsome and just as lovely in person.
He is hot. I did see a photo of him and Courtney that I had someone ask a question about. I can't find the question here, but someone asking if something happened between Captain Jason and Courtney.
And I don't know. I'm the worst tea spiller. I don't know. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Why not? If they're
An interesting one. Lauren Elizabeth Gaff said, I get the vibe Daisy hates Aisha. How did she find her in real life? I wonder where that vibe comes from.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird. No, I don't hate Aisha. I don't feel so bad that I give it off that vibe. No, not at all. Aisha's probably one of the below deck cast that I haven't met that I actually speak to one of the most over like Instagram. I guess because we're both kind of returning chief stews, so we kind of have that to bond over. And yeah, no, I don't hate her at all, and I really enjoyed Aisha's company, and we got on great at Bravocon. So I apologize for giving off that vibe. I have no problem with Aisha.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one. Who I would like to know. Give us a DM and let us know where that came from.
I don't know, maybe I was having a bad day and I was like, oh, she's annoying or something. But no, she's really nice. She's very, very sweet.
Yeah, I quite like her. I reckon I would get along with her really well. Quite like her a lot to watch. Quite a lot of people asking who would you pick as your captain other than Glenn from
Other than Glenn. That's a really, really hard question. I'd probably go with, it's really hard because they are so, because I've gotten to meet them all now, including Captain Kerry from the new season, and they really are all so lovely. And I know that their crew all have such nice things to say about them all. And I think for me, I do prefer a captain that does stay a little bit out of my department. Mainly, I've been a chief stew for like 8 years at this stage. So I just don't need, I feel I don't need as much help or assistance from a captain. And I'm very good about asking for help, or, I'm very forthcoming. I don't try to solve problems on my own that I can't handle. So I think Jason and Sandy might be a little bit too involved for me, which is great for a more green chief stew and who kind of requires their assistance. So I'm possibly going to go with Lee.
Okay. I would definitely like to work for Captain Lee.
Yeah, he seems really cool. He's just nice in real life. And I just kind of like that he stays in the bridge and he just waits for you to come to him. That's more the kind of captain I respond better to. But I would be happy to work with any of them. I'd be lucky to work with any of them.
Yeah, definitely. Someone asking, or Erica Robinson, I keep saying someone. These people have names. Erica Robinson asking, you haven't mentioned Sheena, so I don't know if you met her, but asking Sheena, can't decide if I love her or hate her.
So I saw her, I didn't meet her, and we actually wore the same outfit.
Oh, which outfit?
The pink one. She wore it in black. No, I saw her a few times from afar, but I didn't meet her. I watched a few episodes of Vanderpump Rules, so I do know who she is. And it's actually funny because somebody had actually made a comment about her I have no idea who, I can't remember who, can't remember if it was a friend of mine, if it was a fan, if it was another Bravo celeb that someone mentioned about her possibly not being that nice. And I could have been in a dream. So absolutely no idea. So maybe, yeah, she's not that great, but isn't her boyfriend Kiwi? No, he's South African. Australian. So I think he might be South African. No, he's Australian. You're right.
He's Australian.
he spoke to Gary quite a few times.
Oh,
So
okay.
they were talking
His
quite
name's
a few times.
Brock, right? Is it Brock? Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed really cool. But I do know that someone along the line made some sort of comment about her not being particularly nice. And so maybe it's a hater. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, to be honest, I've watched Vanderpump Rules since day one, and I always think about who I would be friends with, and I don't think I would click with Sheena. Not that
Ooh,
I don't
interesting.
dislike her, but like I just don't think that we would have anything in common.
Who would you be friends with?
From Vanderpump Rules, Ariana, like definitely. I love someone who's really like dry, like you, dry sense of humor, like really direct.
She's the
Like I
one
love
going
it.
out with Tom, isn't she?
Yeah, Tom Sandoval.
Yeah, I met
Yeah.
her
Oh my
through
God. And
that.
I would love to be friends with the Toms. They just seem like so much fun.
Yeah,
Both.
no, they're
They just I just watched the episode of Winter House where the Toms have just arrived, and they just like bring such a good energy. Like they have like their first night partying, and they just bring this funny energy. Although Tom Schwartz is going through his divorce, so it's like you feel really sad for him. I saw that it was his 40th birthday at Bravocon. 40th? Yeah.
yeah. They went out for dinner the night after, I guess the night after it all ended. They went out for dinner somewhere. So yeah, to celebrate his birthday.
Oh, nice. Well, there was just, I mean, there's so many questions that I can't go through all of them. Someone, I say someone because the name is just like numbers and letters. So this time it is a someone. What Bravo celebrity was the most excited to meet you?
Ooh, I had a few who knew who I was. I think Heather Gay knew who I was, and she was pretty excited to meet me. And it was funny because she came into the green room and she like waved at me and smiled at me, but I don't know her, and I had no idea that she knew who I was. So I was like, I kind of did this like really awkward because I was like, I don't know if she's
Like she
hi
waving to
to
the
me.
person behind me.
Yes, I did this really awkward, and unfortunately, it came across as rude. So my friend Elaine is a big fan, and she's like, "Oh my God, Daisy, can you please ask Heather for a photo?" So I went up to her and I was like, "Hi," and she's like, "Yeah, you just spoke to me." And I was like, "I was so sorry. I was like, I did not mean to." And she's like, "Yeah, Daisy, rude." And I was like, "Oh my
Oh
God,
my
I'm
God,
so
lucky you went up to her.
I know." And I kind of played it off like I did know who she was, even though I had no idea. And I was like, "No, sorry, I didn't mean to be. I just wasn't sure if you're waving at me." Anyway, she knew who I was. So we got a photo together. So I'm going to have to watch her show. Apparently, Elaine, my informer, telling me she's a big Below Deck fan. So she kind of knows all of us. So I think
She
she was
had
quite
a
excited.
thing with Alex, Alex from Med. Was he
Alex
on Med?
Radcliffe,
Yeah,
that we did the podcast with.
yeah. It wasn't an actual thing, but they were like they had like a public kind of exchange on Instagram, and there was like rumors twittering about that. Um, yeah, something to do with it. I did ask him about it on. It was either when I was on their podcast or when he was on ours. And he said it didn't really eventuate into anything. But yeah, she is a fan.
She seemed very cool. So she was excited to
I
meet
like her
me.
actually. I quite like watching her on Salt Lake City Housewives.
Brandy was excited. She knew who I was, which was very cool because it was surreal, like having watched her show, and then that was
Yeah,
surreal. I feel like Sutton is she from New York?
Beverly
Um,
Hills.
or Beverly Hills. I feel like she knew who it was. Now, I'm not sure, but every time we walked past each other, she very much went, like very much was like, but again, I was because I don't expect these people to know who I am. So I was really confused that she was just being polite. She could have been because that's people are
Yeah.
polite, so walk past. But my friend was like, I think she might definitely know who you are. And there were several times. So I feel like they were kind of the only ones who kind of know who you are.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was so delighted. Even one.
Yeah, pretty. I mean, Brandy's such an OG, so that would have been pretty cool.
So nice.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, she's cool. Oh my God, that's so.
Oh, actually, I had another girl. I feel like she might be from Summer House. And the only reason why I know this is because I've started watching the last season of Summer House because I felt like I needed to, because I got quite friendly with Lindsay, and I met Carl a few times as well. So I was like, oh, I better watch their show. But they feel like she might be one of the girls from there. And we did a panel together, and I was like, I'm Daisy, and she's like, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I have no idea who you are. So I can't remember her name, unfortunately, but yeah, I think I feel like she was one of the girls from Summer House, and yeah,
I'm
she
curious. I'm curious to
she knew exactly who I was, which was very flattering as well. So there's another person to add to the list.
What's Carl like?
Kyle, I've only met briefly, but Carl I've met a few times. He's really nice.
Yeah, he seems really nice.
Yeah, no, he's a really.
I think that all the Summer House, Winter House crew, I really like all of them. Like Vanderpump Rules, there's definitely a few that are a bit like.
Vanderpump's funny. They're a lot more like, I think their personalities are a lot more electric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to use this word and it sounds like an insult, but it's not meant to be an insult. Like Summer House is maybe a bit more basic. They're maybe a bit more like level.
Yeah, definitely.
Where Vanderpump, they're like, have some seriously strong personalities. Oh, well, you'll be excited about this because I know you did watch What Happens Live. Did sit in a panel with Lala Kent. And so why you love her so much. She was so cool. And actually, I am going to say this. I don't think she knew who I was. And I think I was coming out with some kind of outrageous things that she looked at me a few times and I felt like she was like, who the fuck is this girl? Because I want to be friends with her. I did get that vibe from her because a couple of times
that's definitely, I think that's the right vibe, because when I did watch What Happens Live with her, she definitely didn't know who I was. But when Andy Cohen was asking me about hooking up with Danny, and I was like, well, I mean, yeah, whatever. And she was like, damn, she's like, oh, she's like, this girl's fun. And I was like, be friends with me.
Yeah. Because I didn't obviously know who she was, but now I follow her on Instagram, and yeah, obviously now I picked up that she's very much like an outspoken female, and is all about kind of saying what you're thinking and not holding back. So I think we would be friends. But yeah, I picked up that vibe from her as well, so that was quite cool. And if anyone is interested in watching any of the panels, they are up on YouTube, so you can just Google YouTube Bravocon 2022, and literally every single panel's up there. So if you want to watch it, and it filmed really well and stuff like that, so you can get all the tea and know what I'm talking about, and the outfits, and
they did start posting the panels on Hey You as well, I noticed.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you can watch them
in my suggested. I started watching one of yours and then I kind of got over it. Sorry.
One.
I can't even remember. I didn't get that far into it.
You should watch.
Which
the
one?
ones that are the Battle of the Sexes is good. That's the one with Lala Kent.
Oh, it wasn't that one then. It was one with Fraser was in the panel with you.
Okay, so that would have been the Blow Deck one.
Yeah,
you should keep watching that. You should keep watching it. It's a bit
really? Is that the one when Gary takes off his shirt and spins it around and like, I was like, oh, such a Gary thing to do. We're not surprised. Anyway, and then there's been an announcement of who is on the next season, right? Or
not of my show.
Of not. Oh, okay. But it's just the announcement that there's going to be another season of Below Deck Sailing Yacht, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not announced who is on it.
Okay. Someone did ask in those question boxes if we were going to be doing Pitter Party, and we definitely will be doing Pitter Party for the next Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I think that at this stage where we're all at, we're probably only going to be doing Pitter Party for Sailing Yacht and not the other seasons anymore, because it's just a lot of scheduling and it's extremely difficult. It took us like 2 weeks to get this scheduled, so
that was my fault. It's just hard because with obviously Ali has a baby, and I with traveling with me, and my schedule's just hectic,
and the time difference, and you're literally in so many different time zones in just a matter of a week sometimes. So
no, it's pretty hectic. So yeah, unfortunately, this is the best we can do. So
yeah, everyone's just got to take it what we can give. All right, well, I don't know how long this has gone for, but I definitely know that we should wrap it up because it's been a while. But this has been fun. I've loved there's been some goss in there. There's been a few juicy little tender pieces of, exciting.
Just tune in next year when I know them both better, okay?
Yes. And you need to are there after parties actually? I'm curious.
There are, but again, it's very
the official ones or like just
yeah, no, they're official. They're like VIP. You have to be part of Bravocon. So the first night was at the hotel, the second night was at the Watch What Happens Live venue. But again, I did Watch What Happens Live both nights. So by the time I got to the party, it was late. I wasn't there like early. And they end early as well, like 2, which I'm sure people went back to hotel rooms. Normally I would be all on for an after party, but I was up at 7 a.m. every morning for glam. So I was like, absolutely not. Like I said, the days were like 20-hour days, me in heels. There were long days of drinking, socializing, being on. So there were after parties, but for me, it felt like more like a cocktail party. They were like full on. Like some people were hammered. There's music, DJs. But for me, it was more. I was definitely not that drunk or like. And it's a lot. So yeah. Basically.
Yeah. I can imagine there'd be definitely some. I mean, so many people are cast on these Bravo shows because of their big personalities, and a lot of big personalities when they're drunk can be pretty, like, they can get sloppy or crazy or all of the above. So I can imagine maybe
it helps them up so early the next morning, but that probably keeps a few people in line. But yeah. It's there's probably a lot that happened, but yeah, I kind of kept to myself, and I met with a few people for drinks and kind of mingled, but overall it wasn't anything hectic.
Well, next year we got next year. Thanks so much, Daisy, for chatting with me today and giving us all the inside info. And I don't know when our next podcast is going to be, but we're going to do our best and see if we can get something scheduled again. I think we're just going to be posting these pretty sporadically. So yeah, we're trying.
We'll try.
All right. Thanks, Daisy.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.